how your brain tricks you and you don't even notice. Do you think you can spot a lie immediately? In your opinion, how many lies do we hear on average every day, starting from childhood? Most importantly, what if your body knows you're lying before your brain does? In the few minutes it takes you to read this, how many millions of lies will have been told in the world? Let's open the door to this mysterious world. A lie is not just a word that is untrue. It is a complex psychological, social, and biological phenomenon. The part of our brain called the prefrontal cortex is responsible for constructing complex lies. This is also the center for our planning and logical thinking. In other words, to tell a lie, our brain actually performs high-level work. Anthropologists believe that lying evolved precisely because we are social beings. If we always spoke harsh truths to everyone in our tribe, our social relationships would collapse. The small, white lies we tell every day, "You look good," "No, you're not bothering me," ensure that society functions smoothly. The statistical punch. Research shows that in the first 10 minutes of a meeting between two strangers, an average of 3 lies are told. And to think you barely even know each other yet. Types of lies, from angels to devil's lies, are not all the same. They have their own hierarchy. Self-protection lies, the most basic, told to avoid punishment, conflict, or embarrassment. "I didn't break that glass." White lies, the most debatable, told for the benefit or feelings of someone else. "The doctor said everything will be fine." Interestingly, our brain experiences less stress when telling these lies. Lies for personal gain, the most dangerous. Constructed to deliberately deceive and gain an advantage. "This car is in perfect condition, no issues at all." Pathological lies, the most incomprehensible. Here, there is often no clear goal. The person enjoys the act of lying itself, and sometimes even believes their own lies. This is a sign of a psychological disorder. While your mouth speaks, your body betrays you. The uncontrollable signals. Body language doesn't convey 60% of a story, it conveys 90% of the emotion. There is no magic button for detecting a lie, but there is a cluster of signals. Micro-expressions, the 1/25-second messengers. Eyebrow forehead, incongruity. While telling a sad story, the eyebrows might momentarily rise, an expression of surprise. Asymmetric face, genuine smiles spread evenly across both sides of the face simultaneously. Pay attention to someone who says, "I'm so happy," but whose lips are twisted to one side. Body language, the uncontrollable gestures. The neck game. People who are lying touch their neck or collar more often. This is an unconscious effort to soothe the tension and blood flow going to the brain. Protecting the center line. Placing an object in front of the abdomen, chest, or between the thighs, for example, sitting behind a desk, is an unconscious defensive posture. The exit feet. The toes point toward the exit. The body already wants to end the conversation and leave. Speech characteristics, the dark side of words, drowning in details. The person adds unnecessary, excessive details to make their story believable. The one with the blue clothes, blonde hair, approximately 1.70 meters tall, with a red purse. Slips of the tongue. Due to psychological stress, they might use "we" instead of "I," or mix up their sentences. Emotional incongruity, delivering sad news with a smile or happy news with an empty stare. The brain's capacity for deception. The deception module. Research shows that when we lie, several parts of our brain activate simultaneously. The prefrontal cortex constructs the story. The limbic system manages fear and guilt, and the temporal lobe, retrieves information from memory. It's a lot of work. The truth bias. Our brain is standardly wired to believe that what it hears is true. This is a mechanism that evolved to save energy in social life. In other words, we are not naturally inclined to deceive, but rather to be deceived. 3 rules for being a better lie detector. Focus on the big picture. Pay attention not to a single signal, but to the appearance of multiple signals at once. Anyone can scratch their neck, but watch out for the person who scratches their neck while their voice tone changes and their story gets lost in unnecessary details. Change your question. Instead of asking directly, "Did you do it?" Ask open-ended questions like, "How do you remember what happened at that moment?" A liar will repeat their prepared script, but as you change the details, their story will fall apart. Establish a baseline. Compare the person's behavior to their normal state. Anyone can be stressed. What's important is the unusual behavioral change they display when talking about specific topics. Detecting lies is not a superpower, but a skill that requires practice. It is not a secret hidden in the dark corners of human nature, but a psychological reality illuminated by science. Next time you talk to someone, remember their words are telling you a story, but their body is giving you the commentary. Which one would you believe?